We're live. Um, I've been having some anxiety, so I felt like I was time to jump on this video. So, gonna address the. I want to start by addressing the comments on the 1 month on Zoloft video. Um, this guy says, "Don't listen to these anti-med idiots. Some of us have chemical imbalances, and others are simply too uneducated to understand the neurobiology behind it. Don't let people slight your experience. And if your psych is a douche, get a new one." Um, so I want to start by saying that the in the video when I was talking about my psych being a douche, it was because I was a minor, but he like divulged information about like what drugs I was using to my mom, which I shouldn't have told them in the first place, but that was what that was all about. So transparent about that. Yeah, but I kind of wanted to start with saying that, like, you know, I don't think that people should just jump to medication, like jump right into it when they're dealing with these things. But um, well, also that I think he's what he's saying about the people that are anti-med. Like some people do need it. There is a chemical imbalance. I think that in the video before, I just rewatched it. Um, it's really cringy. Hard for me to rewatch that, but I had to properly do this, and so I think a lot of the problem for me, I think a lot of it was like in my head kind of stuff. Um, and just being like, even now, just being in front of the camera and talking is an anxious thing. But I think there was a lot of like placebo kind of things where I like thought like I was feeling a certain way or whatever, and I kind of made it out to be more than it really was. And again, the biggest thing with that is that I didn't really give it a full chance to really see what it was all about. And also, I was young and I was just not really in the right state of mind, and just, had different things going on. And back to what I was saying before about people not jumping into being on meds, I think, like after being in therapy and still, doing, you know, making an effort to do things about your mental health, and talking with a therapist, and they're agreeing like, maybe there is, a chemical imbalance, something more going on, if you're still dealing with it, because ultimately for some people that's just not going to be enough. And you don't really know until you try the medication to see if it does. And that's kind of where I was at with that. And then, to that also, that doesn't mean it's the end all be all. Like, now you found this and that's going to be the other solution, because you still have to do the work and put the work in on working on your mental health along with that, and like being aware of that. And it can be, it's a bitch, because it's like it makes a difference, but then it doesn't. Like, I was having a lot of like physical panic attacks, anxiety attack. I don't really know what the fucking difference is between the two, but that was the big motivator for me to be like, well, I can't, like, it's like a physical thing beyond just like what I'm dealing with mentally. And so I thought that would be, but then you know, getting in a better state of mind, and kind of being after being on it for Effexor for a while, and kind of seeing how that went, and then realizing like, oh, after I get complacent, and then stuff still happens, still get upset, and then happen again. I thought was immune to that, but it's just goes to show again, like it goes hand in hand. Like you have to work on yourself, literally, mentally, and then you also, along with that, like it doesn't, you know, just wash it away, and then it doesn't mean that you need more or higher dose also, you know, but things just happen. But what else did I want to address for the? I'm kind of bouncing all around all over the place, but this is the only way I can even do this. Um, I guess I'll just talk about the marijuana side of it right away. Just like with anything that alters your mind, and like it's different now that marijuana is legal, and my psychiatrist told me right off the bat, like, that's something that you're using that's gonna just kind of to keep in mind that can play a factor in a role just like anything else. And you know with that comes a lot of added anxiety and paranoia, and things that has always been lingering for me with that. So, but now realizing that's is what that is, and that's not always the reality of it, makes it easier to kind of differentiate between the reality of how you feel being on the medication, being sober, and being in a regular state of mind, versus what it's like when that. And it's different for everybody. It's just what I'm gonna say about it. Yeah, I just think in the video I was just kind of anxious and over exaggerated, and I had a lot going on at the time. Um, but the difference, I guess, to talk more about Effexor, what I'm on now, is that it's NSRI instead of an SSRI. So it's a norepinephrine instead of a serotonin, or well, they're still serotonin, but whatever. The norepinephrine is like your fight or flight, which is a lot of the things that trigger for me. So it's more centered around that. So that's why he chose that. More specifics with this, I feel like um, the biggest negative is just a lot of nauseous stomach in the morning. If you don't, you have to take it with food. If you don't, because it's like all your serotonin and whatever's stored in your stomach, and it like makes more of it or whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. And so you have to make sure that you take it with dinner or eat enough. You know, say to just take it with food or whatever. Drink it with a glass of milk, he said, but it can make you kind of tired, and that's kind of why I say have it around the end of the day. But if you wake up in the morning and you feel nauseous, that's not always great. But that kind of subsided for me after a while. The first month or so is pretty rough, but actually kind of get used to it, and then it kind of subsides and goes away. But like still, it can happen occasionally if I take the Effexor, and um, you know, a little upset stomach, but usually wake up go to the bathroom and eat something and it goes away. And um, there's been a few times where I've missed a day that I took it or forgot to take a dose or whatever, and then I feel like kind of a little spacing out of it the next day. But I also, again, I wonder how much of that is like placebo and just kind of in my head type of thing versus actually feeling like that. He said that it's not really, psych said it's not really a big deal, but just take it the next time and whatever. I guess to if it's not really clear, I was on Zoloft for a month at that time, and I didn't pursue it any further, and I haven't been on any medication from those 7, 8 years since then up until these past couple months that I've been trying this out, and also part of the reason why. So I'm actually going to show this. I wanted to put it in the thumbnail. I'm trying to still going to try and upload it, but start you off 37 and a half, and then after that you go up to 75. It's like the regular dosage, but I just started like the next inkling of it, so we're gonna see if that. I don't imagine it'll be much different, but I'm back tapped in, so if it is, we'll see. But I think the main thing, like, kind of addressing some how ways it's benefited me, is that a lot of I've noticed moments when things would happen that would normally be something that would give me anxiety, get me upset, for something easily embarrassed, something would happen, and now when it happens, instead of just being like jumping, freaking out, jumping into, it's like so instantaneous for me. I'm such a impatient person, but with this, I'm able to kind of take a step back, take a deep breath, and just kind of think about it for a moment, or just like, let it go and move on. Because nobody, nobody has a photographic memory like I do. Nobody experiences like when things stupid things happen, like it just is gone and on to the next. And that's easier said than done for me sometimes, but this is just speaking from with me. I don't know, maybe that can help benefit some people, but with this it's easier, and it doesn't always have. I still like occasionally get flustered and what have you, but it's like a whole way of a world. Like it's just so much significantly easier to like handle the simple things. Trying to think of what else I wanted to say. Um, yeah, I think the biggest thing is that it's not an end all be all. You gotta supplement other things in there along with it. You kind of really need to talk to somebody before you jump into it. Um, gotta, definitely gotta fucking eat when you take this shit because it'll fuck your stomach up, dude. And yeah, they say it makes you kind of drowsy after you take it. I haven't really experienced that too bad, but I guess it does kind of happen. Like if I try to take it earlier in the day before it was upsetting me, like lunchtime, whatever, and kind of, sort of, but not really. I wouldn't really recommend it. Like I wouldn't start your day with it. I don't really know. Um, but yeah, it's, and don't also don't like tell yourself that this is a life thing that you're chained to. That's, it's a one day at a time thing. Maybe that's the case. If so, not to be embarrassed about, to worry about, but also, I look at it as just a temporary tool to help deal with things in the time being. Um, I just want to add that this is extremely difficult for me to talk about, and it feels really lame. But I'm mainly doing this to help other people. I never thought that the video would get 60,000 fucking views. Um, and I just know that so many other people are out there like me dealing with similar things, and I just can share like a little bit of my experience, then maybe it helps other people kind of see things too. And also to kind of just put some closure and rest on the video, because I have made updates of it before and deleted them or whatever, but this is the fucking end of it all, as far as addressing that video. And then, yeah, more discussion on Effexor moving forward. Um, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Um, yeah, the biggest thing is just to everybody's different, and not to beat yourself up for it, and to just take it at one day at a time and give it your best shot. That's all you can do.